I think this Hogwarts has its own chimeras. You can see it here. So friends, are you ready to see Ukrainian Hogwarts? Let's go with us! In fact, we are visiting the former residence of the Metropolitans of Bukovyna and Dalmatia that is functioning as University in Chernivtsi. Guys, sometimes I'm thinking about to live here in Chernivtsi, at least try it for a couple of months. People are doing photo session here. It's a little park near the university, and they offered us to wait here in the park for the excursion to start. And I think it's something is about waiting on the platform 9/half, you know. Guys, it's so amazing. Could you imagine living here on this historical building? But I think the people are here are sick of the tourists and they are super annoyed. Because imagine that you're living in your house and someone is coming and starting to do filming and photo shoots. So if I was blessed to have a house here or owning any property in the city center, I would be extremely blessed. I want to repeat this, but I think I would sell it or leave it for myself but rent out to another people for a living. And it's paradox because in Lviv, locals who are still living in the city center is no more the quiet city center, if you know what I mean. Yeah, but they also extremely annoyed by the tourists and people who are pushing the camera into their window. During the martial law, the independent visitors are not allowed. That is why university is given the guide and tours. All these people are waiting for excursion and we too. Oh my god, this is so beautiful. Guys, there is no any difficulties to join the group, you just need to show up, because groups are formed both by appointment and on the spot. The tour duration is 45 minutes, but it was enough to check everything. The stone's foundation blocks and columns were made of sandstone, which was brought from the 5 quarters of the region. In 2 huge pits, which were dug in front of the central building, lime was slacked and mixed with milk, egg white and sand, and during the solution bricks were laid. The lady guide just told us that all these beautiful buildings were built in 19th century in 1864 just for the purpose of teaching the evangelical studies for people who wanted to become priests. However, after the USSR arrival, of course, everything was ended and these buildings were used by the Soviets. I will take small pause here to greet everyone and each of you who is supporting this small YouTube channel and its development. If you want to participate, please proceed to description of this video and find PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee page. Thank you and God be with you. But let's get back to the excursion. During the excursion, we had an opportunity to visit the Church of the Three Saints and hear the beautiful church singing and pay for excursion. Guys, let's go inside. It was interesting to know that cement was not used in the construction. On June 28, 1940, Soviet troops entered Chernivtsi for the first time. It was a tragedy. Then the property of the Metropolitan House was evacuated and residents ceased its activities. The second evacuation took place in 1944. For some time, the resident house, a branch of the local history museum, was a part of it, and in 1959 studies began in this building. And I could even imagine what courage did Ukrainians have during the Soviet occupation and invasion to keep all these monuments intact. The lady just have told us that this church was remaining intact even in the Soviet time, and they made a trick to trick Soviets, and they using it not as a church because Soviet Union was anti-religious and only Moscow church as an instrument of propaganda was functioning. Yeah, so and they were using this like church building as a working with the computers, and Soviets didn't damage it, they just allow people to work on computers here, and this church was like using like a study room. Guys, western part of the country is considered to be the most relatively safe area. However, even in Chernivtsi, it was a mass air attack recently. It was happening twice for the all years of full-scale war. And even in this safest area, you see the sandbag. the signs of the war. They are using to close the windows of the basement that is used as a shelter during the air alerts. So now you see that even if you are going to the western part of the country just to see Ukraine during the wartime, please be cautious and do not ignore air alerts because threat is still existing. So do not be overconfident because overconfidence is your weakness, as the application air alert is saying, and I believe it. And now you see that old man in Russia, that is heritage of Soviet Union, is still trying to occupy Ukraine and seize it for the second time. That's why I'm doing such a video, to document everything and to support our heritage. The guide lady is saying that thanks to misusing of these buildings during the Soviet time, they were remaining intact, and even crosses and icons were not damaged and were not destroyed because people were studying here and they decided not to take out the crosses even, and it was a unique situation for the time of the Soviet Union. Guys, I'm glad that they are not demanding the payment for the doing videos, and this really pressure because every single tourist can capture the beauty of this building and tell about it to the family and friends, so engage them to visit Bukovyna district. Guys, look how beautiful view is this. Actually, I have not thought that I will find something so rare in Ukraine, and I have read the article in the internet that is very weird, that Bukovyna district, especially city of the Chernivtsi, has an issue with the tourist flow that was occurred during the pandemic. So it's occurred because of the lack of railway trails here. There is only three trail railways of the train that are going to the Chernivtsi. If we compare it with Lviv, Lviv has 9 trains that are going there from the different corners of Ukraine. Here in Chernivtsi, it's only 3 trains, and the whole way takes about 18 hours. 18 hours, guys, because these train are stopping just around all the settlements to pick up the people and to arrange self costs, because I don't know why this road and why this direction is not so popular. Maybe because the city is small, but it's crime, guys, that they are having issues with the tourist flow because it's magnificent. Guys, if Chernivtsi has an issue with the tourists, please come visit. Even in the wartime, it's near Romanian border, and I'm doubting that something happens here severe. But of course, I cannot exclude it, so please be cautious. Don't get me wrong, when I'm saying that there almost nothing happens here, I mean that this place is not so dangerous as, for example, Kyiv is now, because Kyiv is suffering through the night alerts and night attacks almost every single day, but we also cannot deny the victims that were killed during such attack even in western part of Ukraine. So when I'm saying that there is not much going here, I mean that this place is not so dangerous as another places of Ukraine, but people are still going even in Kyiv. And also extremely important that 12 years ago, Chernivtsi National University, Ukrainian Hogwarts, was included in the UNESCO World Heritage List. Could you imagine? It was 17th university in the world and the only one in Ukraine that operates as educational institution and its World Heritage Site. And while I was filming everything for you, I have lost my group because I was out of touch of reality with my camera. I think I'm lost. Silver lining, so I can investigate what's happening here. I have a feeling that words are whispering to me. Suddenly I heard the voice of the tour guide and understood that they are checking the portrait of Fedkovich. This is a portrait of the founder of this university, Fedkovich, and it was actually handmade. The students of the universities have made it. Could you imagine, guys, students of this art department of the university did this portrait themselves. They did a knitting and it's full handmade. And actually, guys, I'm speechless and I have lack of words to discuss and describe with you how gifted and talented Ukrainian youth are. This could be my dream job. And guys, I have no words to describe how resilient Ukrainian nation is and how stunning and wonderful our culture and art are. Mom decided to violate, and who am I to deny it? Let's go. This is real study building and people here are studying in university. So guys, if you are brave enough to send your children here to get an education, it's very cheap, not like in US. So you are welcome, because it's more or less safe. Missiles attacks are happening, but this building has a proper shelter, yes, in the basement. And you do not need even to buy them broom to send it here, I'm joking. For sure, visiting Ukrainian Hogwarts worth it because of its mesmerizing magnetism, wow effect and atmosphere, guys. Thank you for watching this video till the end, put some like to this video and write a comment of the algorithm. And please visit Ukraine afterward, or if you are doing it now, please be careful and be conscious. Thank you, God be with you and see you in the next video.